And an unexpected pro to this tool is that it will play the intro to Rage Against the Machine's Killing in the Name of.
Welcome back to another episode of Automotive Insight. On today's video, we are going to be doing a review of the Autel PowerScan, the PS100. This is a circuit testing device. I have used this style device for years, and I find these devices very handy. It comes with a 20-foot cable, comes with a cigarette lighter adapter, and it also comes with a 20-foot extension, so you have about 40 feet of range to use with this. Most of the time working on car stuff, the 20-foot works really well. Sometimes on the longer trucks, I have to use the extension, but the 20-foot is usually good enough. The power outlet adapter, that's nice for when you're doing interior work. That way you don't have to reach all the way from the battery into the vehicle. So that is nice to have. Okay, we'll go ahead and hook it up to a battery. Red goes to the positive, black goes to the negative. And so it cuts on automatically. It does have the rocker switch, which allows you to apply power and ground. If you wanted to test a circuit, you can check the voltage by just touching the probe to the circuit. I find this useful for testing alternators. You know, we'll go to the B+ to make sure that the main fuse isn't blown. And then we can also go to the connector. We can check our grounds and our voltages that way. This does have a circuit breaker. It says it's a 10 amp breaker. If it trips it, it lets you know, and you push it and it resets. One other thing I like to use this tool for is checking fuses. Okay, to show an example of how being able to apply power and ground comes in handy. Let's say your horn wasn't working. You say you put a new horn in it, it still doesn't work. So we're going to go to the relay here. The relay kind of breaks the circuit in half between the control side and the switch side. You can easily eliminate the switch side of it. We got our power for the horn, and this is our ground, which should be the horn. So we're going to apply power to it. And so that eliminates half the circuit, and that's how that comes in handy. One other thing that's nice about it is it gives you a ground strap with an alligator clip on it. I find that useful when you need to verify or when you need to have a known good ground. We'll just use this light bulb as an example. So to give an example of the continuity function, we have a relay here. We are going to check the control side of the relay. And it's registering 66.2 ohms, which it also, the light saying it's got a ground, which is true. One other useful feature is the tone that it makes between the ground and the positive. I have used this to find shorts before. If it's short at the power, short at the ground, you just leave it hooked up, and then you can go through disconnecting until the short is disconnected or removed, and the noise goes away. I have used that as an audible tool and found that useful. Any thoughts on the tool?
So I haven't got a chance to use this particular tool yet, but what I think about these tools is generally I am pro them. I like having power and ground, a good power and ground available, whether you're under the hood or at the 7-pin trailer connector. It's nice to have it. A couple things of note about it is that the PS100 can easily become Autel's first smoke machine to the untrained person, so you got to be careful of what you just go putting powers and grounds on willy-nilly. Another thing is that I have been fooled before by both these types of tools and with meters, in that if you read 12 volts on a a particular wire or source, that doesn't necessarily mean that it can carry any current with it. So I have been burned by that before.
All right, well, that's going to wrap up the testing side of it. Now we're going to go to the pros and cons section. The pros, the voltmeter and the power and ground functions worked well. Another pro is the lights on here. That is nice to have, especially crawling around underneath the dash, trying to test fuses and look at wiring. I have found that very useful. Another pro is it's from a trusted, well-known name in the automotive business. One other pro is the switch is replaceable. They can, I've had different models where I've had to replace these because I use these tools a lot. It is serviceable. You can pop it out and pop a new one in. Another pro is we are currently offering a discount code. It is 20FAB-AUTO8. That's 20FAB-AUTO8. Onto the con section. First, right off the bat, I was reading the box. It calls this an AVOM, which is amperage voltage ohm meter. Nothing. This doesn't do any kind of amperage reading. It describes read voltage, current, and resistance at your fingertip, but there is no current reading. So I believe that is a misprint. Another con is it would be nice if there was a little collar or sleeve to help kind of keep the ground strap together, help keep it nice and neat instead of just kind of hanging there, especially if you're crawling around underneath the dash and you're pulling on this and you can't, and you're laying on it, you just can't get it free. So it is nice to have a collar on this. One other con is this button right here. I hit this about 4 or 5 times just trying to make the video to give examples, and it just wanted us to switch screens. So I think either move the button or make it a little bit more recessed to where you couldn't easily hit it. The biggest con of them all was the resistance mode. It didn't work well for low resistant. We tried it on some light bulbs and some relays that were about 7 to 10 ohms, and it wouldn't register. It wouldn't pick up on. It would just say zero ohms of resistance. We finally got it to register about 66 ohms on a relay. We did compare this to 2 digital volt ohm meters, and they were both registered 74.6. So it's not very sensitive to low resistance, and it wasn't as accurate as a digital voltmeter. The AC voltage, I don't quite see any reason to use this function for automotive. If I'm looking at some kind of waveform or for a sensor, I'm usually grabbing my oscilloscope, but it is on here. I just don't, as far as the automotive world, I haven't grabbed this to test for AC voltage. So overall thoughts, I like the tool. There can be some improvements, but for the value of it, it's worth the price, especially with our discount code. Current pricing at the time of the filming is $89.99. But anyway, that's going to wrap up this video. I may not have all your answers. Hopefully I had some. That being said, we'll see you on the next one.
I'll pick you up at 8. You probably won't be awake. Call yourself an Uber, babe. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait.
They even offer this in black now, if you're into that.
The black one's bigger.
Yeah.